Welcome back to Behind the Yellow Curtain Season 2. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Jess. Into this question of where you're from and my self-exploration, maybe less angry. And on those topics, I was coming from quite a frustrated place. I'm not living authentically. I'm not living in a way that's really true to who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm conforming to something or someone other than myself.
I want to circle back to the
Okay.
book you wrote.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I could fucking show it. Yeah, here it is.
Yes.
Band of Philosophy.
So, can you briefly talk about what made you want to write the book?
Okay.
What the book is about?
Okay.
And then, do you still agree with everything that you wrote at this point?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting questions. So the genesis of the book actually lies, again, into this question of where you're from and my self-exploration. But also, this is quite an interesting tangent. But music is actually probably my biggest passion in life, and I love all sorts of music. But I loved also actually heavy metal music growing up. I guess the angst and the tension and the anger, manifesting. So there was a time like in my mid-20s-ish when I actually determined to become like a metal vocalist, actually. And I started getting like vocal lessons, and I started to like go on this process of learning how to like growl and scream in a healthy way. And it was during that process where I was like, well, you know what? If I do become a vocalist and I write lyrics, it's like, what would I write about? And it was then that the penny dropped, and I was like, you know what? As a way to organize my thoughts and as a way to solidify my philosophy, I'm going to write a book, And that was the first, I guess you could say, genesis of deciding to write a book. Where am I from? Who am I? What am I? Yeah, and then I think that it kind of almost became its own thing after that. It's like music kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
And then the book kind of became the main creative outlet for me during my life, at my life at the time, for my life at the time. And it started with the questions of like, as I said, my identity and who am I, but then it also became the answer to those questions as well. And it was, within the context of writing the book that I actually came to faith in Christ specifically. And that I really recognized myself as coming from God, belonging to Christ. And again, it's really been the foundation that I stand upon now, in terms of like, what I believe, what I stand for. And I guess that answers your other question of, do you still agree with everything in the book? I think by and large, yes, I do, and that's really been the surprising aspect of it, because it's been like almost 4 years now, since I've like written and published the book.
Yeah.
But again, like throughout all the myriad of experiences that I've had since then and all the different ideas and, encounters that I've had, it's like through it all, I read the book from time to time again, and I'm like, oh, that actually still really resonates with me. That still speaks really true to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been my experience of it. And, so I'm, again, very, very grateful to have had the opportunity to write it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, the process of writing it was crazy. It was, because I like to say that I wrote it, but at the same time, I almost felt like I received it. I was merely the vassal to channel these ideas that existed in a plane external to myself somehow. I know that sounds crazy, but that was really the experience.
Yeah, that's very philosophical. I feel like a lot of creators, they feel that
right.
way,
They do. Right? Yeah, I think
we
so.
get inspirations everywhere.
Yeah,
so it's
where does
not
that
like,
come from, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
It
everywhere.
literally just comes, Yeah.
So
yeah.
okay, let me reform that question. Or
Yeah.
kind of challenge you
Sure, go ahead.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any chapters or any parts of the book that now because you said you constantly go back and read it. It's almost a personal journal to you, right? But is there anything, like few things on top of your head in your book that, not that you want to rewrite, but you will elaborate a little bit differently or elaborate a little bit deeper?
Okay. Interesting. Man, it's a difficult question because the book itself is very wide ranging.
Yeah.
And it's talking about my personal experience, but it's also, there's a lot of social critique in there. Because the main premise of the book is about identity.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, looking at identity from a perspective of something which is shaped by the society in which we live.
Yeah.
You know, and actually sometimes the malign influences that society, you know, has on us in terms of our perceptions of who we are. And I think I've written essays. So I have an essay in there on politics, on the school system, and also like modern work culture and religion.
Yeah.
These things as a way of social critique. And I think, you know, my views at the time were still formulating. And I think in that respect, if I was to rewrite those chapters, I probably would write with more clarity and probably in a way that's maybe less angry. To begin with, because I think at least on those topics I was coming from quite a frustrated place, and I was, you know, I think opening my eyes to how society can be an evil influence on us, and I think I was kind of coming from a place of anger in that respect. And I think now that I've calmed down a bit more, and I can see that actually it's not all bad. You know, society isn't all evil. And some of these things which I felt really strongly against at the time, now I've actually kind of made peace with a little bit. And yeah, I think I'll probably be a bit more balanced in that respect, at least with regards to these topics. But I think for the fundamental questions, the philosophical questions with regards to like, who are we, or who am I? Where do we come from? What are we? I think, for those questions, I'm still happy with them by and large. No,
like I said, you've gotten older, wiser, and more zen. And I think the key word that I captured from your answer is a sense of clarity.
Right. Well, that's nice. Thank you.
Right. And I feel like that's also something that I want to bring back in terms of how it relates to your cultural journey, or like exposure into hopping from one to another. And even though like I think your experience also unique on its own in a way that you came to Japan. It's not completely foreign to you. You already speak the language. You know there's Japanese blood in your vein. So there is already like a sense of familiarity when you come here. But however, the change stays unchanged, right? Like it still kind of affects you in the way that helps you evolve. In the way that, would you say, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would you say all these kind of realizations or a sense of clarity or grasp a sense of clarity would happen at all, or it would happen this soon if you chose to stay back in the UK?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting too, because I actually often say to like, even like my mom or to just my peers, it's like, I really can't imagine my life having not moved to Japan. You know, it's just, I think the move to Japan was so inevitable in hindsight, you know, and it was so natural. And it's really, really difficult to imagine how it would have been otherwise. But I think had I stayed in London, you know, and had I not had the opportunity to come here, or had I chosen against coming here, again, I think, I mean, just the person who I was before moving here, I think that person would have just stayed, really. And I think I would have become, you know, in a good way, more grounded and rooted in London, perhaps. And I think I hopefully would have eventually made peace with the city and, you know, let go of my anger and these things towards it. But at the same time, I can't also help but think that I would probably be more inauthentic as well. Because again, coming to Japan, as I mentioned earlier, was a process of shedding, you know, things which weren't really necessarily who I was. They were like other people and other groups, kind of me embodying their values onto myself. And I think had I stayed in London, those would have remained. And, you know, in that respect, I might have felt maybe more dissatisfied as well, you know, further down the line. Because I do believe fundamentally that when we are dissatisfied with our lives and when we feel this sense of frustration, towards our circumstances, I think it's fundamentally coming from a place that I'm not living authentically. I'm not living in a way that's really true to who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm conforming to something or someone other than myself.
Yeah.
But I would maybe qualify that more to say that I'm conforming myself to someone or something that doesn't necessarily have my best interests in mind. You know what I mean? They want me to be what they want, as opposed to who I am.
Yeah, a lot of projections.
Exactly. And I think had I stayed in London, then I think those aspects probably would have remained.
Yeah.
And that may have led to more, again, dissatisfactions, perhaps even, mental breakdowns. I mean, it's hard to say really, isn't it? Yeah. But
well, we will still have those.
For sure, yeah. And again, exactly. Yeah. Life is never easy.
It's never easy. But I think another keywords I grasped from what you just said.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, you put it perfectly.
Yeah.
Which is the word shedding.
Yeah.
I think shedding is such a good word.
Exfoliating.
Yeah. You're exfoliating yourself.
Yeah.
That is such a good.
It's so healthy.
It's so,
and it's so necessary,
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reason. There's a reason why our bodies do it naturally.
Yeah. Every 7 years.
Yeah. Precisely. And I think it's like psychologically, it's so important.
No, that's so true.
And
that
I
is
think
so true.
in order for us to do that, we need to put ourselves in new environments.
Exactly.
We need to challenge ourselves. And get out of our comfort zones. So again, like I really can't imagine how my life would have turned out had I not made the move. And I'm so grateful that I did.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. Like,
oh yeah.
Again, never easy.
Yeah.
It's never easy, but very rewarding.
Yeah. Exactly.
The end of the day is always very rewarding.
Yeah,
There's so many different reasons.
Exactly. And I'm so blessed, I think, to have had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because my heart goes out to people who maybe want that opportunity desperately, but just don't have it.
Yeah. Again, we're very privileged.
Yeah, for sure. I really recognize that, you know, because it wasn't up to me that I was born to a mother who's Japanese and who's so, again, strict and, forceful in teaching me Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm really just bearing the fruits, of that blessing that was just given to me. And as much as there was effort on my part and decision and volition on my part, it's like so much of this is just based on unrequited blessing, and I'm so grateful to that in that respect. And, I would say to anyone who is listening to this and maybe wants to get out of their circumstances, don't panic, have faith, and I think,
and you'll be okay.
Yeah, believe in the process. And maybe there's still something left for you to discover or to do or to, to find out in your current circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. To piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Like I always encourage people who, I would say that if you have, not use the word privilege, but if you have the money, if you have the chance, you have the time. If you have any kinds of opportunity that will allow you to go out there and explore.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like you already know what to expect.
Exactly.
Where you're at.
For sure. Yeah.
You can go out for even like few months to a year and then you realize you hate it. You can always go back to where you were at.
Yeah.
But go out there. If you have the energy, you have the...
For sure.
Yeah,
I completely agree, man. I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah, it's so true. Because I think many of us, we think our circumstances are so bad until we see something different. Yeah. And we realize, actually, I really like it.
Exactly.
Where I'm from originally,
actually.
Yeah. And I think, again, that's been the same with me. Like, having moved to Japan and now being permanently based here, when I go back to London, I don't take the issues that London has as a city so personally anymore. And, I'm... like now I'm actually, even though like I live in Japan, I'm actually so proud to be from London. Yeah. And I identify with London more than ever. Yeah. And, my eyes have really been open to actually some of the great things that London has on offer. Yeah. Precisely because I left. Yeah. And, and I again, like to your point, like if you have the opportunity, go for it, Yeah. And then I would add to that actually, where there's a will, there's a way. And I think if you feel like you don't have the opportunity, I think, again, keep trying, keep plugging away, don't give up.
Yeah, there's always, it's the matter of perspective.
Exactly.
It's a matter of perspectives. And don't just never give up.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes peeled, your eyes open, your ears peeled, and just, again, just when the opportunity comes, grasp it. You know, really grasp
for
it.
Sure,
yeah.
For
and
sure.
we live in such a, connected world.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
You know.
So, okay, final question for you.
Sure. Yeah.
If you get to give your older self an advice, with just like one sentence or a few words.
Yeah.
And the older self, I mean, like before you start your shedding process.
Okay, so my younger self.
Your younger self.
Okay.
Before you start to shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What would that advice be, or a few words?
Yeah. Oh man, I kind of knew this question or this sort of question would come, and I was kind of thinking about it. It's difficult, yeah, trying not to be too generic or too cheesy, but man, I mean, I would just say, like, bro, like, have faith, don't get so dragged down, by what seems to be bleak circumstances. Have faith that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And on top of that, I would say that the answer is always within you. Don't look outside of you, in the sense of don't look for truth in other groups or other movements. It's like who you are is given to you, and it's within you, and in that respect, always look within yourself for answers pertaining to yourself. And on those grounds, stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm picturing myself, my younger self, probably listening to that and being like, yo, okay.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right, Richard. I get it.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. Like, you grow up to be lame. Yeah. But no, that is very good advice. I think it's really... Yeah.
If I was to distill it into a few sentences, I think that's what I would say.
Faith.
Have faith.
Be patient, have faith.
At the end of the day, God is good.
Yeah.
And, you'll be all right. And, just keep going, keep plugging away, keep your head up and, have a good time.
That being said, that's the end of our episode. Well, if you like this episode, please hit a like, comment, subscribe, and also share with anyone that you feel like they will relate to or resonate with. And new episode drop every week, so stay tuned. Well, thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much, Jess.
It was such a great catch up.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah,
thank
it's overdue. It's way overdue.
Yeah,
we can go on and on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, again, we have the chance to do this again sometime.
We should make the effort.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic.
Well, and that will be the end of episode. So see you next time.
Bye.
Yay! Good job, yeah? Yeah?
That was really great.
How was it as a listener?